Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, so today's video will be me just kind of giving some things that upcoming seniors or upcoming freshmen might not know about LSU, or you might know about it and I'm just stating the obvious. I don't know. Yeah, I have a little bit of a list here. I am currently a freshman at LSU. I didn't really find too many videos about LSU, a real in-depth video about things to expect. So yeah, I have compiled a little bit of a list to kind of talk about. Okay, first things first, I personally would say LSU is a party school. I feel like I've seen mixed things about this, especially when I was a senior, like looking up things about LSU. I don't know if it's just because I didn't like party super hard in high school, but I personally think LSU is a party school. There's something going on every single night, weekday or not. And if I were to think of a party school, I feel like LSU fits that description. I don't know. But yeah, that can definitely like be a cool thing, but at the same time, it can hurt you. Okay, so the next thing is that LSU is so big. And I know that's really obvious, but like I did not realize how huge LSU was until I got there. Like prepare to walk miles. It feels like miles to your classes. And Louisiana weather is so bad. Like it didn't even start getting kind of chilly until end November. Walking to your class, you're more than likely to show up there looking sweaty, looking gross. That's why as the year went on, I stopped really caring about my appearance. I stopped really doing my makeup because I would get there and I would look like the peanut butter baby. And it was really annoying. So just prepare to walk very long distances, like the west apartments and dorms, and we have the east apartments and dorms, I think. I have a good amount of friends who live on the west side of campus and I live on the east side of campus. Whenever I want to like go hang out with them, I would walk minimum like 20 minutes. And it gets really annoying, and it's just, I wasn't prepared for it. Next thing is you have to find a balance. Now this can also apply to probably any other school, but when you go to a school that's so big and there's so many chances to have fun, go to parties, it's very easy to get lost in that. Your grades start to tank. Luckily, I got really decent grades in high school. Like I'm just used to making sure my grades are my first priority. So I didn't really have too much of a problem, but there were times where it got really hard. Like I would want to go out with my friends, or I would want to go to my friend's dorm and chill. I couldn't because I had so much work to do. And so it's just really easy to get behind and like literally start failing all your classes. Literally so tempting when you get there because you have all this freedom, you have all these chances to make friends and just have fun. So I would just say even before getting there, just make sure like you mentally prepare yourself to find a balance. You need to remember what you're there for, okay? Next thing would be to take initiative and ask for help. I feel like in high school, we're babied a lot. There's so many times in high school where teachers reach out to you, kind of push you to ask for help, kind of hold your hand through things, I guess. In college, it's just not like that. If you're like me who kind of gets scared at the like thought of going up to a teacher or emailing a teacher, you're gonna have to get over that, because if you really need help and you just kind of let it be, you'll fall behind and it won't end well. Take those extra steps to try to understand the material, and especially with like your academic advisor, you're gonna have to reach out to them a lot as well. So at LSU, you have a thing called a success team, and it's basically a team of I think 6 people, and they all do different things. So like you can have an academic advisor, you can have an academic coach. There are people who are kind of assigned to you for different things you might need throughout the year, and I do feel like LSU kind of hypes that up a bit, because since the college is so big, when you really need help, like let's say around finals, around the times where we have to like choose our classes, it can get really hard to even get in touch with those people. So if you do have a problem with something and it's not that big of a deal, but it could turn into an even bigger deal, I would say reach out to someone as quickly as possible, so that you know you don't get in that situation of not being able to maybe make an appointment with anyone and you're kind of like toast. I tried to nip, you know, those problems in the bud as soon as they started, because being in a situation where you cannot contact your academic advisor is so annoying. So the food is not that great. You have like the regular fast food places like Chick-fil-A, Panda Express, Sonic, I think City Slice, but the really good ones like Chick-fil-A and Panda Express, you have to use your Paw Points. And Paw Points are just the currency that LSU uses that you get with your meal plan. and every freshman has to get a meal plan, or I think at least every freshman who lives on campus. And so when you don't have a lot of pop points, you're just forced to use your meal swipes, and you can only use one meal swipe in the union a day. So let's say you already used your meal swipe that day for the union, you have to eat food from the dining hall, and sometimes the dining hall food is pretty good, sometimes it's not. It can get really annoying. Like towards the end of the semester, all I ate every day was really just sandwiches, because they do have a deli in one of the dining halls. Okay, another thing is that you're probably not gonna find your best friends the first semester. Now, I think I was lucky. I did find really good friends this semester, even some friends that I'm moving into an apartment with next year. And so I think I got lucky in that aspect, but I feel like I've heard more times than not that people have had bad experiences with people here. Their entire friend group that they met pretty much doesn't really talk anymore. They feel really lonely. The secret behind that, I feel like I went out of my way to make friends, but there's a lot of other people who did that as well who do not have that many friends. So it's like very like iffy. Like, I don't know. I think it's 50-50, and I think it just depends on you and what happens when you get here. I am very grateful that I have really good friends. I would just say be careful, and just be careful who you let in your circle, because oh my gosh, the horror stories I've heard about people's friend groups here and how like they can be really evil and not really want the best for you. So I would just say be careful and just watch really closely who you let into your friend group. Okay, so another thing is that Another thing is that the Tiger Stadium is as good as people say it is. The atmosphere on game day is so crazy. I love, oh my gosh, I love Death Valley. I think we have one of the biggest stadiums, if not the biggest stadium in the SEC. It can get really, really, really loud though. Like during the Alabama game, I was there. I was only a couple rows from the actual field. It got so loud, your ears definitely do ring. Everyone is just so excited. You really feel like a school on those days. Tailgating is, oh my gosh, tailgating at LSU is so, I don't know how to explain it, like it's just so fun. All the frats have tents. If you don't want to go to the parade grounds, you can also, there's a lot of like black tailgates. I don't want to say a lot of black tailgates, but there are black tailgates. I do wish there were a little bit more, because the food would definitely, I always have a really good time. Sometimes I don't even go to the game. Sometimes I just tailgate, and it's like so fun. And after a day of tailgating, after the game, you can go out to the bars. And speaking of bars, Tigerland is really, really fun as well. Tigerland is basically where you go. It's like a couple miles from the school, and it just has like most of the bars. During the beginning of the semester, I went to Tigerland all the time. My friends really wanted to go, so I would go too. I had like fun. But towards like now, we started to like stop wanting to spend money on Ubers. Only one time we walked to Tigerland, and it was like a 30-minute walk. Never again. And so now we just go to Murphy's, which is just as good, but it's like literally on campus, so you don't have to worry about Ubers or anything like that. Parking is actually so bad. Now, I will say, towards the beginning of the year, it was really bad. And I felt really bad for kids who lived off campus, because they would have, let's say they had a class at 8:30. They would get there at 7 and still like somehow miss their class or be late. But towards like the end of the semester, people stop going to their classes. So I would say if you're like coming, let's say you're a freshman and you're bringing your car, I won't say you don't need it, because a car would definitely have helped me throughout the semester. But I would just say the beginning of the semester it'll kind of suck for you. The weather down here, this has to be its own section. It's so annoying. I am from Georgia, or at least I most recently lived in Georgia, and I know about southern weather. Like, I am not new to this. This is not a new thing. Louisiana is just different. It's not even like dry heat. It's like humid, wet air. I hate Louisiana weather, and it's so bipolar too. Like, now not only is summer like so hot, 100 degrees, can't even breathe, it will probably stay close to that until mid-November. I promise you, I was literally sweating walking to class until November. You love to wear sweaters, you love to wear hoodies, jackets. It's gonna be kind of hard for you. But I will say it does get cold in the classroom sometimes, so I would just say maybe bring a jacket, but just don't wear it while you're walking because you will start sweating. Just probably carry it, I don't know. Okay, the last thing is studying is I cannot study like in my room. If I study in my room, I will somehow end up in my bed and I will somehow end up sleeping. I usually need to go to the Union, just outside of my dorm, to get anything done. The Union can get loud at times, but I will say it is my favorite place to study because it can't be too quiet for me. Why I never go to the library is because it gets really, really quiet. I think the library has 4 floors, I believe, maybe 5. So the higher you go up, the quieter it gets. And there's only been one time where I went to the top floor and it was too quiet for me. I was scared to cough, like I was scared to breathe. But yeah, I do feel like it was just for me, maybe it was hard for me to find a good study spot. So if you're like someone who can't have it be too quiet, but you don't want to stay in your dorm, I would just say go to the Union. I mean, there's food there, so if you get hungry, if you're like studying all day, it's very easy to just go get some food. So yeah guys, that's all I have for today. I hope if you're thinking about going to LSU, this helped you a little bit. You may have more of an idea of what it's like here. I hope that my video doesn't come off as like negative because I do love it there. Like I feel like I should have made that more clear. I don't see myself going to college anywhere else, and I am going back next year, so I feel like that should say something. It is a great school. If you do like big public SEC schools, it's a great school for it. It's just like a very fun school, and I'm really glad that I chose to go there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.